People choose an easy way out for everything, and getting into IVF also causes a hormonal havoc.
इतनी लेट एज पे जब आप चालू करते हो तो आपको थोड़ा साइंस का भी हेल्प लेना पड़ेगा,
बट उसका स्ट्रेस नहीं करना है.
जो मेंसेस का ब्लड होता है वो ब्लड वो अंदर यूट्रस में से उसके साथ जो फेलोपियन ट्यूब जुड़ा है उधर से जाके ओवरी में जमा होता है.
She is about 15 years old, yeah, right? And every 2 months she would come up with a complaint that मैडम इसको तो बहुत ज़्यादा पेन होता है.
इट्स रिकरेंट डिजीज. उसका फाइनल सॉल्यूशन भी सर्जरी से है. इफ यू बिलीव इन साइंस इट्स योर जेनेटिक्स, एंड इफ यू बिलीव इन लक इट्स योर लक.
Every day I have a female who is 40+. अगर एक या दो क्लाइंट मेरे ऐसे होते हैं जो सेशन में रो पड़ते हैं without any reason. If you don't have a solution, what could be an instant suggestion at that point of time? Medicines give them super mood swings. Super मतलब वो पूरा टाइम रोते रहते हैं, mood swings होता है. Even with the medicine they don't get their cycle on time.
उसका फाइनल डेफिनेट सॉल्यूशन इज आप हार्मोन्स रिपोर्ट्स करा सकते हो या सोनोग्राफी कराओ, बट इवन आफ्टर दैट द ट्रीटमेंट इज नॉट गोइंग टू चेंज.
Welcome to the another episode of Beyond the Noise, a podcast where we cut through all the myths and bring you real science-backed information and insight around health and wellness. I'm your host dietitian Shweta, and today we have a very special guest, renowned gynecologist and a laparoscopic surgeon, Dr. Forum Vora. Every month our hormone talks. Sometimes they whispers, sometimes they scream loud in the form of mood swings, in the form of acne, in the form of palpitation. But how many times do you think do we address that issues? So today we are decoding the language of our hormones with a gynecologist, from fibroid to fertility, from first period to perimenopausal phase. She has seen it all. Because every woman deserves to understand her body and not fear it at all. So Dr. Forum, welcome to the show.
थैंक यू.
मेरे को हमेशा ये एक रहता है कि मैं जब क्लाइंट्स को भी मिलती हूँ तो मुझे बोलते हैं कि मैम ये तो मुझे बचपन से है, एंड देन आई फील हाउ वी विमेन एट टाइम्स नॉर्मलाइज द पेन. व्हाट आई बिलीव इज योर पीरियड साइकिल जो है वो एट टाइम विस्पर करता है, एंड एट टाइम दे लाउड स्क्रीम करते हैं बहुत जोर से in terms of mood swings, in terms of acne, in terms of cramps and everything. But all we end up doing is either we take a painkiller, either we do just 1 day का rest, but we don't address it कि actual issue क्या है. So to talk about a very common thing that I come across is fibroid, a small silent growth inside, right? So can you just highlight about what is fibroid and why it is mostly seen after 35, and more details, anything that you can share about?
Yeah. So basically fibroids are the जो बोलते हैं ना कि बच्चेदानी की गांठ, तो it is uterine muscle का overgrowth होने से it is formed. So there is no definite science why it forms, but it's your genetics that it develops. Maybe your mother has it, you are more prone to have it. And de novo also we find sometimes कि people have fibroids.
Yeah, but then at times I believe वो इतना signs and symptoms कभी नाता भी नहीं.
So majority of the times the fibroids they are asymptomatic if they are small in size, if they are not touching the endometrium, that is inner layer of the uterus.
Oh,
okay. So fibroids, उसका importance जो है, to understand that, let us understand the types of fibroids. There are 3 types of fibroids.
Okay.
So if it is touching inner layer, it will cause heavy bleeding. And it is an alarming thing and you have to deal with the thing.
Okay, so only the removal is the solution?
Yes, only yes. Whenever there is a fibroid, it has to be removed if it causes any problem.
Okay.
If it is smaller in size, lesser in number, that is just one fibroid in the myometrium, like in the middle layer of the uterus or on the outer surface of the uterus, if it's just like 1 or 2 centimeter, it is not causing you any problem. It is not causing you heavy bleeding. It is not causing you infertility. If it is not causing anything, you just let it be. If you get your menopause, that thing will just become small.
Okay.
With the age
it really, the size reduces on it,
and it will be there. It will not just go away, but it will be there, but it will not cause you any problem. It's not going to be your cancer. All right. So sometimes people think वो घबराते हैं कि ये कैंसर तो नहीं हो जाएगा. No, this is not cancer. So but अगर वो प्रॉब्लम करता है, you have to deal with that and you have to remove the fibroid.
Okay, so जो गांठ बोलते हैं most of the time, so it is nothing but the fibroid that we.
Yeah, majority of the times when they say गांठ of बच्चेदानी की जो बोलते हैं, तो it is fibroid only. But yeah, it is diagnosed on sonography and more confirmatory by MRI.
Okay, and then as you said that it won't develop to cancer or something, but then are there any chances if we don't take care of it?
So like 99.99%, that thing is not going to be cancer, even in future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like very rarely, if it develops after the age of menopause, जैसे 60 की age के बाद हुआ, it is showing abnormal vascularity on scan and all that, then we have to evaluate it for the
biopsy and all that.
So whenever it is in the younger age, it is mainly diagnosed by scan only, on sonography only. And if it causes infertility, heavy menses, intermenstrual bleeding sometimes, then you have to deal with that.
So menstrual bleeding, you mean mid-cycle bleeding?
Yes,
I have many cases that
for that there can be two reasons, like in submucous fibroid or polyp. Both can cause mid-cycle.
So how is fibroid and polyp different? I mean, if you can just elaborate.
हाँ, so अगर जनरल लैंग्वेज में बोले तो फाइब्रॉइड जो गांठ बोलते हैं that is fibroid, और मस्सा जो बोलते हैं that is polyp.
Okay,
it's just the
skin pattern.
हाँ, it is just a structure that is different.
Okay.
The texture of the tissue is different. But both of them, if it is like fibroid, if it is touching the endometrium, that is, if it is submucous, it will cause the same symptoms as polyp, and polyp will also cause in mid-cycle bleeding.
Mid-cycle
bleeding, spotting, whatever.
Okay. And how important do you think? Yeah, you already said that it's most of the time hereditary. कि अगर आपके mother को है तो आपको भी.
Majority होता है, not that always. Sometimes we very commonly find fibroids in younger age also. Like in 20s, 30s also. They have sometimes multiple fibroids. They have 10, 12 centimeter bigger size fibroids. If it is big in size, we have to remove, because otherwise it will cause pressure effects on the ureter and other organs, right?
Correct.
And if it is touching inner layer, it will cause heavy bleeding leading to anemia. Then we do have to deal with that. Submucous thing can also cause infertility. Then also, if it is hindering your fertility, you have to remove it.
Correct. So now this, how much do you think is the role of lifestyle these days? आपने जैसे बोला कि अब हम younger the females में भी देख रहे हैं fibroid, which was initially only after near to perimenopause.
For that I would say no, it's a modality now. Now scan and all those things are available. So now
पहले भी होता
था, but it is now, yes, now it is getting diagnosed better. So we now get to know.
But then do you think that improvement in the lifestyle and eating habits,
so like for like PCOD, like fertility, it does have impact. But this can, like, we can say, like for fibroid, endometriosis, indirectly we can say कि now the girls, they are getting their menarche, they are starting with their menses in early age. So you are exposed to more of estrogen during your lifetime.
Correct.
But along with that, there is also a fact that you are getting menopause also early, right?
Yeah.
So
yes,
it's almost like,
so ultimately the exposure is, it's almost.
We can, like, scientifically, if you think, I don't think there is much of this into these conditions.
So what I understood out of this is what you mean to say when I say lifestyle. When you say lifestyle is not the concerning factor here, and it is more of hereditary or some kind of a hormone which I feel is getting plus or minus.
Yeah.
So it's more of a hormone role and not just the insulin, or I mean not just the inflammation or the fat cells around the visceral organ that could be responsible for fibroid.
Not directly for the fibroid.
Okay. So you also highlighted a word called endometriosis, right? So I really want our viewers to know about what is endometriosis. To give you one example here, not the example but the incident. मेरी जो maid आती है, उसकी daughter, she is about 15 years old. Yeah, right? And every 2 months, she would come up with a complaint that madam इसको तो बहुत ज़्यादा pain होता है, and they believe in those kala jadoo and all that stuff. So I tried to convince them. Obviously, they are not from that background where they will understand. But then this endometriosis I'm seeing a lot in यंग जस्ट जो जिनका पीरियड स्टार्ट होने वाला होता है उनके अंदर मैं बहुत देखती हूँ, चाहे वो ओवरवेट चाइल्ड हो या अंडरवेट व्हाटएवर, या राइट. सो आई थिंक इट इज नॉट लिंक्ड विद समथिंग which we call it is as lifestyle disease. So what is basically endometriosis and how do we reduce the chances of getting it to a new girls who is entering into this phase? Okay.
So basically, first let us deal with what is endometriosis, right?
Yeah.
So endometriosis is a disease कि उसमें जो मेंसेस का ब्लड होता है तो वो नॉर्मली बाहर तो आता है वजाइना से, दैट इज व्हाट हम बोलते हैं कि भी पीरियड आ गया, बराबर. तो वो ब्लड वो अंदर यूट्रस में से उसके साथ जो फेलोपियन ट्यूब जुड़ा है उधर से जाके ओवरी में जमा होता है, तो उसको बोलते हैं कि चॉकलेट सिस्ट हुआ. अगर वो ब्लड यूट्रस के आसपास के जो पेरिटोनियम, पीछे का जो पेरिटोनियम का भाग होता है वहां पे जमा होता है, तो वो सारे एंडोमेट्रियोटिक लीजन्स करते हैं. सो बेसिक उसका रीजन जो मैकेनिज्म ऑफ डिजीज का जो मैकेनिज्म है वो ऐसे है कि वो मेंस्ट्रुअल ब्लड ट्यूब थ्रू बाहर पेरिटोनियल कैविटी में आता है और वहां पे इट गेट्स डिपॉजिटेड एंड देन इट कॉजेस इन्फ्लामेटरी रिएक्शन इन द सराउंडिंग. Because that is an abnormal blood is not a routine structure for that peritoneum. So if any abnormal thing will come and sit up there, it will think this is foreign body. So it will start creating inflammatory reaction in the area where that blood gets deposited.
So the thing that they say that the lining is getting thickened, I mean that is thickened now. So
Okay,
is it very similar to endometriosis?
One of the part of endometriosis is chocolate cyst, as I said. Another is if that blood gets collected in the uterine wall itself. Right? As I said, it may deposit in the peritoneum also, but sometimes it does deposit in the uterine wall itself. Then it causes adenomyosis. That is also a part of disease known as endometriosis.
Okay.
Yes, that is uterine wall thickening.
Okay. Yes. So how do we save our small younger?
Now
Not
for that, again for that, for this thing also, it's just your. I always say there are two things. If you believe in science, it's your genetics, and if you believe in luck, it's your luck.
Okay.
So there's and for endometriosis, absolutely it's like that, because we have seen a lot of patients getting operated for chocolate cyst once, then again after having one baby they'll have to get operated again after maybe 4-5 years. Then at the age of 40 they finally land up removing the uterus and cyst and ovaries and everything, because it's a recurrent disease. We need to understand that also. It is not curable. Yeah, it is not curable like that. And uska final solution bhi surgery se hai. We have to, if there is a lesion that is big enough, that is causing you any problem, then we have to remove that lesion. Otherwise, uska final solution nahi hai. और but वो निकालने के बाद भी your menstrual cycle is not going to stop, right? It is recurrent.
Continuous.
And so again, yeah, because it is your body's tendency that is there to, वो menstrual blood deposit करना वो body का tendency है. तो उसको तो कैसे आप stop करोगे? How are you going to stop the nature?
Okay. Fine. So see, now you already said that it is luck and it is something called genetic. But then I, being a professional dietitian, no?
Okay.
So I always need to have a why for everything. I am a why theory person. Right? कि ये हुआ है तो क्यों होता है और ये हो रहा है.
Patients भी हमें पूछते हैं, but again scientifically when we learn all these things in our curriculum, we don't get answer. Yeah, they say some genes are there, but they are all like
so what's the hormone that you think could be responsible for these kind? Because see, अगर हम
it is mostly like for fibroid, for endometriosis, anything, it's mostly estrogen.
Estrogen dominance is what causes endometriosis and fibroid. So can't we, I mean, when we talk about solution to it, so can't we add, I mean, I have seen my clients getting better with the seed cycling where we add, estrogen, phytoestrogens to their diet, like flax seeds and pumpkin seeds and all that. And with the lifestyle changes, I do see some positive changes. And if the patient or a child is little obese, losing their visceral fat also helps regularize these things. The condition. Okay. Yes, I have definitely also seen that the pain is very unbearable in that case.
Mainly this condition is such a painful thing.
हाँ, and that छोटे बच्चे को समझ ही नहीं आता है, and especially with us, like we grown up can, you know, still deal with it. But when
It is difficult in a young
in a young age, they face it is with lot of pain, right? So what could be the source? Okay, if we don't have a solution, what could be an instant suggestion at that point of time that can give them relief?
हाँ, so for like for young girls I would say कि देखो पहले तो ये भी है कि सही में उसको एंडोमेट्रियोसिस है कि नहीं वो भी तो पहले देखना पड़ेगा ना. सो अगर उसको बहुत हैवी ब्लीडिंग है आप पेन किलर उनको दो तो the dosage of painkiller that she is requiring to deal with that pain will make us understand really is it like endometriosis. Majority they don't have endometriosis, sometimes it's just a spasmodic pain, right? So that we can deal with, you know, just 1 or 2 painkiller. That is very simple and that is just an antispasmodic type medicine. All right. So or maybe lifestyle change, जैसे आपको वो hot bag करना है or something. So that things can, or whatever you are suggesting, that seed therapy or something, when there is not really endometriosis. Painful periods can be there even without endometriosis also, right? That is also very common. Because for endometriosis, if there is chocolate cyst, then it will be diagnosed by sonography. But as I am saying, if there are just the endometriotic deposits in the peritoneum, nowhere we can diagnose it unless until we put a scope. So now for these girls, there is no point putting a scope just for this, right?
Correct.
So from the history and clinical findings, we get to know whether to evaluate, not evaluate. Majority of the times in a younger age, it's not that much of a severe thing. At a later age, it's a because your menstrual cycles have are in more in number when you are at an elder age. कि बहुत सारी cycle हो जाती है तो उसमें ज़्यादा खून deposit होने का chance आ जाता है.
Okay, and it is also very common when a young girl is entering into this phase, initial 2-3 months.
So initial 1 or 2 years, it is very common to have spasmodic pain. It's very common to have irregular cycles. Everything is physiological. It is normal. Just assurance is the only thing you require. If her menses has just started. That is like
So how do you think that the role of iron deficiency or other deficiency play a role in the spasm that they get, the intensity of the spasm if they are nutritionally malnourished? I mean, so would that impact the pain or the spasm that they would get?
Food, I don't think like any food has direct relation to spasmodic pain because it's your muscles, no? आप गाड़ी चालू करते हो कई बार मतलब गाड़ी नहीं है मतलब कुछ भी चीज आपका नया है आप जस्ट स्टार्ट करते हो मशीन को तो कई बार नहीं वो थोड़ा तो ग्लिचेस आता है कि आगे पीछे होता है. इट इज लाइक दैट ओनली. योर बॉडी इज गेटिंग, यू नो, आपका हार्मोन जस्ट काम करना स्टार्ट हुआ है, आपके बॉडी को वो मसल को वो स्पाज्म आ रहा है. एंड इफ यू हैव लाइक फ्रॉम डाइटिशियन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, इफ यू हैव एनीथिंग स्पेशल टू डील विद दैट मस्कुलर स्पाज्म, then definitely that can help.
Yeah, so normally we suggest chia seeds before that should help, right?
So that is not in my knowledge, it should help.
Yeah,
It is just a muscular spasm and you have to deal with that.
yeah, so that is there. I was just trying to understand if being anemic in nature.
That's a different point. Basically, if you have heavy menses, even if you are in younger age, and if you are having heavy menses, then yes, you have to add up with iron-rich diet. And even if sometimes you do require iron supplementation on like by medications also.
Okay.
If it is severe, yeah.
Okay. So now, as you said, chocolate cyst, so that also reminds me about the war going around between PCOS and PCOD. So how are these 3 cysts, I mean 3 things, 3 conditions, you already explained chocolate cyst, what it is, but how is it different to polycystic ovarian disorder or a syndrome, what way, and how are they different, PCOS and PCOD?
Okay, so chocolate cyst altogether is a different condition under the roof of endometriosis. Correct. उसका typical symptom रहता है very painful menses या तो very painful intercourse if a woman is married, right? Sexually active. Okay, now PCOD is altogether a different entity. It is like your body's hormones are disturbed, then it happens. Uska final definite solution is lifestyle modification. Right? Now, what's the difference between PCOD and PCOS? PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome and PCOD is polycystic ovarian disease. When we say as such आप layman के लिए बोलो तो it doesn't मतलब उसका कोई ज्यादा इतना importance नहीं है, but ठीक है. Disease is like it is just when you say related to ovarian findings, then we say it's just a PCOD. But when it is
things as in
there are very small, multiple small follicles in the ovary that is seen on sonography, then we say it's a PCO ovary.
okay,
Right? Multiple small necklace pattern follicles of 9 to 12 mm in size. ऐसे होता है, उसको PCO बोलते हैं, PCO ovaries. When we say syndrome, when it is associated with other systemic findings also, like if she has associated obesity, if she has diabetes, उसका insulin resistance का भी problem हो रहा है. So if it is associated with the whole body, the systemic findings, then we say it's a
even the hirsutism that they get a male and hair growth and all
it is considered in both.
yeah, दोनों में आता है. Okay, so I also understand that you already said that it is typically a lifestyle.
Yeah, it is typical as the lifestyle. Yes, 100%.
So I normally, when I get PCOD patients who have not got their periods for more than 2 months, I ask them to induce the periods with the medicine taking help of.
So once you have to get the periods,
and then I can add
Follow,
on to the seed cycling. Although for those who don't get periods, we follow moon cycle. But the moment I say this, it might sound contradictory, but then the moment I say this, कि चलो आप एक बार induce करा लो, because they have done it in past, they get so anxious about taking the medicines because that medicines give them super मूड स्विंग. सुपर मतलब वो पूरा टाइम रोते रहते हैं, मूड स्विंग्स होता है, दे स्टिल हैव पेनफुल पीरियड्स आफ्टर दैट, एंड देयर हैव बीन अ केस कि इवन विद द मेडिसिन दे डोंट गेट देयर साइकिल ऑन टाइम. सो हाउ डू वी डील विद दैट? सो इज देयर एनी काउंटर पिल कि जो हम ये मेडिसिन जो पीरियड्स के लिए देते हैं उसके लिए हम कुछ और?
So to answer that, first I will tell what you take to get the periods. It's just a progesterone. First we try is only progesterone.
Because estrogen is dominating, so
Yeah.
needs to pacify.
तो उसको आप प्रोजेस्ट्रॉन डालना पड़ता है कि एक बार प्रोजेस्ट्रॉन दिया, एंडोमेट्रियम और थिकन होता जाएगा. व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ प्रोजेस्ट्रॉन? इट थिकन्स द एंडोमेट्रियम. उसको थोड़ा और पुश करेगा कि भाई तू थोड़ा थिक हो जा. एंड एक्चुअली द मैकेनिज्म ऑफ वर्किंग ऑफ दैट मेडिसिन इज कि फिर हम प्रोजेस्ट्रॉन स्टॉप करते हैं. दैट्स द मेन रीजन कि जब प्रोजेस्ट्रॉन हमने 10 दिन दिया, देन व्हेन वी स्टॉप, देन वी गेट अ प्रोजेस्ट्रॉन विड्रॉल इन द बॉडी. That actually
leads to
your mood swings and all those things also, but that thing actually lets you get your periods. That's the mechanism to get the period. Now, as you are saying, bloating, mood swings, those are because you are adding the progesterone. Body already have the progesterone in the body, but to get the periods, you want progesterone withdrawal. So you are adding more progesterone to body. So it will create more of bloating, more of puffiness feeling, more of tender breast feeling, more of mood swings. And then when you just stop that medicine, then within 7 to 10 days, you get your period. So mechanism is like naturally also when you're in your body, when progesterone falls, you get your periods.
Correct.
So अगर वो naturally नहीं हो रहा है because of PCOD or something, if your body's hormonal milieu is disturbed, आप सामने से उसको बाहर से हार्मोन लेके उसका विड्रॉल करवा के you are getting the periods.
Okay, but then again, as we talk about medicine, it is just focusing on the symptom, the problem of not getting period, but not.
Yes, it will not cause a 100%. It will not deal with the root cause. Yes. For PCOD, the root cause is your lifestyle, is your dietary habits, is your physical activity, everything. So to finally deal with that situation, you have to deal with the lifestyle change.
Yeah, so basically it's not fixing any lab reports. It is just
अगर आपको उसको मतलब डायग्नोस करना है तो आप हार्मोन्स रिपोर्ट्स करा सकते हो या सोनोग्राफी कराओ, बट इवन आफ्टर दैट द ट्रीटमेंट इज नॉट गोइंग टू चेंज.
It is going to be the same.
It is going to be the same. Yeah.
Okay, and with this medicine, we just try to balance the imbalance between the estrogen.
Yes, exactly. So when you advise, like when you give ocipils also in these cases, right, to regularize the cycle.
Correct.
Again, you are giving the hormones in a regulated manner because in your body your hormonal milieu is disturbed.
Correct.
So when you give it in a regulated manner, We hope कि आपका cycle hormones एक set हो जाएगा and you will get your periods.
Yeah, but then उसको वही है, sometimes silence नहीं भी होता है.
तो
Exactly. It is actually
तो आपको साथ में उसका डाइट चेंज, आपका लाइफस्टाइल चेंज करना ही है. Otherwise, as long as you are on ocipes, you will get your regular cycles. Once you stop it, you are back to all the problems that you had.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so you talked about tender breast as well, just as PCOD. So I've also seen that prolactin hormone जो है हमारा, yes, it is linked with thyroid and everything all together. But I want to focus more on prolactin in this episode. Why? Because I have seen my patients having mood swings, difficult to lose weight. That is when but the periods are very normal. Yes, they do get pains during their periods, but then everything is normal. Their blood reports looks normal, and still they are not able to lose weight. That's when I ask them to get their prolactin checked, right? So most of the time the prolactins are very high in females who are not able to lose their weight. So how does that prolactin can impact the metabolism, and what is its role in
So basically, prolactin and thyroid, these two are hormones, body's other system hormones that can affect your menstrual excess hormones. राइट. सो उसका आपका मतलब जैसे इस्ट्रोजन प्रोजेस्ट्रॉन है, उसके साथ भी उसका कोरिलेशन है. प्रोलेक्टिन का इंटरमिंगल थायराइड के हार्मोन के साथ भी है. सो दैट कैन बी द कॉज फॉर कि वो आप ओबेस है और वेट लूज नहीं कर रहे, वो वाला हो सकता है.
Okay, so you said that prolactin will impact TSH and other, menstrual cycle hormones. So, but then how much high could impact? Because I've seen my patient having prolactin as high as 55 या 50s में है, 50s plus है. And still their TSH, T3, T4, everything is normal. And I'm talking about a female who is not undergoing any fertility issues or is not at all a concern for now. It's just that she's not losing weight. She has mood swings and suddenly feels that she's doing everything, but she's still not getting anywhere. So कोई result ही नहीं आ रहा है. So how much high prolactin could be?
The normal range for prolactin values are like 20 to 25. If it is above that, it is abnormal only. But then it can vary between like अगर उसका 50 भी है, 100 भी हो सकता है, 200 भी हो सकता है, 1000 भी हो सकता है. So it's all abnormal. You have to start with the medicine. Or when I have a patient with high prolactin level, I always refer them to endocrinologist, because first we need to find out the cause for high prolactin.
Exactly.
Sometimes there are micro pituitary adenoma.
Correct.
So if it is there or not.
Correct.
Sometimes, yeah, very common. Sometimes we find high prolactin when patient is on domperidone. Antiemetic अगर ले रहे होते हैं ना, you just very commonly we have seen this, like with the collaboration with endocrine reference and my this concern, that like for infertility also we commonly get high prolactin, and once we start with the medicine, their fertility really improves. So once or twice when I referred to guy, and when he just took a good history and he got to know she's on this domperidone.
So domperidone is basically it causes high prolactin. No, it is a medicine which normally antiemetic. Yes,
vomit बंद करने लिए spirit. जैसे आरबीसन डी भी लिया तो उसमें domperidone है. So if you are continuously on that medicine, आपका prolactin temporarily बढ़ जाएगा.
Okay.
Then the advice is only just stop that and days only. Yes.
Come back to know.
So there are many reasons for high prolactin. So for that, I would prefer we should consult endocrinologist. Yes.
Okay. So just because you also referred as fertility issue and because of prolactin, I would also like you to highlight. I know you don't promote IVF and
they are not doing IVF.
Yeah. So but then it's like I feel that these days it's so much commercialized and people choose an easy way out for everything, and getting into IVF also causes a hormonal havoc, I feel, when it comes to lactation and the following period.
The whole process is getting painful.
Yes. So what are your take on IVF and other treatments?
Okay, so first thing, rather just going for IVF thing, it's about infertility. Nowadays, people are getting married late. Even after marriage, they are thinking for baby planning late. कि नहीं अभी तो सेट होना है, तो उसमें आपका टाइम मतलब 30-32 एज ऐसे ही हो जाता है. व्हेन दे यूज्ड टू नो गेट मैरिड अर्ली और जल्दी प्लानिंग जो होता था, तो उसमें यू आर प्लानिंग इन योर 25 इन योर 20s 25 to 22 अरे 25 to 29 में आपका एक आध बच्चा तो हो ही जाता था. सो दैट वाज एक्चुअली नेचुरल, दैट वाज एक्चुअली फिजियोलॉजिकल, तो उसमें इतना दिक्कत भी नहीं आता था. राइट. सो इसीलिए अभी इनफर्टिलिटी का ही इश्यू इतना है कि लोग उसके लिए हाइपर भी इतना हो रहे, बट उसका नेचुरल सॉल्यूशन भी नहीं करना है.
हाँ, सो इमोशन आई हैव सीन इमोशनल वेरी दे वेरी हाई. मेरे को एक चीज मतलब हमेशा ऐसा फील होता है कि ऑब्वियसली व्हेन वी आर इनटू आईवीएफ दे हैव बीन सजेस्टेड कि भाई आपका ओव्यूलेशन डेट करो, ट्राई करो.
उसको हम बोलते हैं, जो बेसिक इनफर्टिलिटी ट्रीटमेंट बोलते हैं उसको बोलते हैं फॉलिकुलर स्टडी.
करेक्ट. So before even IVF, they try to that ask the couple to do get along together during that ovulation.
Yes.
But I always feel that these days there are so many stress going around.
Yes, sometimes yes. जब हम फॉलिकुलर स्टडी का साइकिल करते हैं तो वो sometimes couple are not they are not able to perform.
Correct.
Because it's not something
It is emotions.
भी चालू कर दिया जाए बंद करने वाला बात नहीं है. तो when we deal with our follicular study patients we always say देखो मतलब शांत मगज से करना है, ऐसा कोई फोर्स नहीं है. हाँ, हम उसको टाइम करते हैं. इट इज टाइमली इंटरकोर्स कि आपको जिस दिन उसका इंजेक्शन दिया जाता है उसके कुछ घंटों बाद हम एडवाइस करते हैं. एवरीथिंग इज देयर. या बट वो उस साइड रिलीज हुआ तो उसी टाइम उसी मिनट वो स्पम पहुंच जाना ऐसे नहीं है. सो डोंट बी स्ट्रेस्ड, जस्ट टेक इट लाइट. थोड़ा उसको साइंटिफिकली इफ रिक्वायर्ड आपको फर्टिलिटी का बेसिक ट्रीटमेंट की जरूरत अगर है तो हम ऐसे बेसिक ट्रीटमेंट करते हैं, वो करना चाहिए. दैट आई डोंट डिनाई, बिकॉज इतनी लेट एज पे जब आप चालू करते हो तो आपको थोड़ा साइंस का भी हेल्प लेना पड़ेगा, बट उसका स्ट्रेस नहीं करना है.
So that is what the stress is the new birth control. Life ऐसे ही कुछ करने की
Control.
fertility issue.
It does affect your hormonal milieu, it does affect your cycle, everything. Yes.
And so this AMH levels are also
Getting low, yes, maybe at a earlier age. So
what could be again the reason for?
again the lifestyle. Again, now this we can definitely say, I don't know, maybe the environmental change, or our genetics, our generation genetics, or maybe our lifestyle.
So AMH basically what does it conclude? I mean, once we do
It is
this,
anti-Mullerian hormone. So it is to know about your ovarian reserve.
okay, so egg reserve.
एग रिजर्व जो बोलते हैं. हाँ, जैसे मतलब कोई भी लड़की का बर्थ होता है तो भगवान ने एक आपका दोनों ओवरी में कुछ नंबर ऑफ फॉलिकल्स, दे आर इन मिलियंस, बट एक दे के भेजा है, पूरा टंकी फुल करके भेजा है. व्हेन शी स्टार्ट्स विथ हर मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल, तो हर एक साइकिल में उसमें से फ्यू ऑफ द फॉलिकल्स गेट डिस्ट्रॉयड. By default, it gets destroyed. It's not just like in one cycle, your only one egg is destroyed. It's your few of the follicles, they get destroyed. So when आप जब मतलब 35-40 की एज रीच करते हो तब तक आपका क्या है कि टंकी खत्म होने आता है. फिर आप बोलो कि ये सप्लीमेंटेशन लेना है, ठीक है लो, इट मे हैव टू सम एक्सटेंट, बट बात यह है कि नथिंग कैन रिप्लेस दैट गॉड हैज गिवन यू नेचुरल है, राइट. तो वो एग रिजर्व वापस तो नहीं आने वाला है.
नहीं आता. But then only thing is what we can do in the lifestyle and well, and it's also we can improve the quality of egg. Wherein even if you have less than
the lifestyle modification increase, you can.
Yeah, so to just give you an example here, I have one of my patient who had undergone egg preservation. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But there was it happened to be a scientific research when she was going around it. She is about 37, 38 hai. But then again, because she doesn't want to get married and she got the egg preservation cycle done. The first cycle was because she's following the diet and everything. Her egg quality at that age is also very nice, right? But then there was 1 week before the second cycle of preservation. She had a hectic schedule. मतलब वो सोई नहीं ठीक से, खाना नहीं खाया. Just in 1 week, the quality dipped so bad that the cycle got cancelled. We can't do the cycle, right? So I was so, I give this example to all my patients that how less important do we consider our sleep cycle and this lifestyle, right? कि आपको
dietary habits and physical activity.
So that is also very much important when we talk about IVF and all. So like you said, it is a lifestyle thing, right? So other than that, like if you can give some 5 good tips for a better fertility and a fertile zone for a couple, okay, what could be that?
So for a couple, first thing, start planning early. The only one thing that I would say for a woman, start planning for marriage early. For a couple, start planning for baby early. Second, कि lifestyle जो अपना है तो थोड़ा उसमें डाइटरी रूटीन सही रखो. एक्सरसाइज अपने रूटीन में रखो, दैट यू हैव एटलीस्ट 30-40 मिनट्स ऑफ फिजिकल एक्टिविटी अ डे. देन avoid alcohol and smoking for both the partners. For male partner, avoid working in very hot environment. That does affect. Fifth, mental status. Avoid stress. Stress is a be happy. Be happy and be stress free when you are planning.
Correct, right? That's very true. That's right. Because as we discussed, it's a new birth control. Yeah, the stress is a new birth control.
100%. So all this thing put together, you can, try to improve your fertility.
And short thing for a male to improve their sperm quality. I mean, what could...
Again, avoid alcohol and smoking. Avoid working in hot environment and stress-free life.
And how about smoking? Because
it does affect. It does affect.
Correct. And I normally give zinc supplement to improve.
Yeah, it's a supplementation. You can take it. You should take it. No deny to that. But yeah, first stoppage of that bad thing is first required.
Yes. Supplement.
Yes, supplement. Yes.
Correct. So now we have spoken about young age में हमारा periods का issue, fibroids we've discussed, mid-age ka, we've discussed fertility, we have discussed everything almost. Yes. Now let's hit to a major part, that is perimenopausal phase, right? So most women are not vocal about it. They don't even understand that they are into perimenopausal stage. I get patients whom I have to make them realize that it is not your fault. It is natural and it is your emotions are valid. Clients बोलते मैडम पहले यही चीज सिचुएशन था, हम अच्छे से पहले कोई इतना इमोशनल नहीं हो जाते थे. Now every day I have a female who is 40+. अगर एक या दो क्लाइंट मेरे ऐसे होते हैं जो सेशन में रो पड़ते हैं without any reason. That's right. So let's dig into a perimenopausal stage. So how would you suggest our viewers, women viewers कि perimenopausal stage को कैसे वो welcome करे in a calmer way, and how do they understand what their body is going through?
Yes. So first thing आप समझो कि ये normal physiological change of the body है. बराबर. जैसे आपका हेयर वाइट हो गया, बराबर, तो वो आप एक्सेप्ट करते हो कि हाँ भाई एजिंग, इट्स अ प्रोसेस ऑफ एजिंग, वो वाइट होना है. तो ऐसे भी मेनोपॉज एज के आपका बॉडी का एस्ट्रोजन प्रोजेस्टेरोन जो हार्मोन्स होते हैं वो धीरे धीरे डिक्लाइन होते जाते हैं. एंड व्हेन दैट हार्मोन्स टोटली गेट स्टॉप फंक्शनिंग, वो हार्मोन बंद ही हो जाता है, देन इट्स अ डेफिनेट फेज ऑफ मेनोपॉज. तो वो आपका बॉडी में हार्मोन का डेफिशिएंसी हो रहा है, उसकी वजह से ये सारा सिम्टम्स आपका हो रहा है. फर्स्ट थिंग यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट. तो क्या है कि पहला आपका एक्सेप्टेंस ही थोड़ा अच्छा, पहले से साइकोलॉजी आपका बिल्डअप हो जाएगा कि नहीं ठीक है, दिस इज नॉर्मल, दिस इज विथ एवरी वुमन, एंड वो मेरा बॉडी का हार्मोन जो है वो धीरे धीरे अपना काम करना बंद हो रहा है, उसकी वजह से है. तो पहला मुझे उससे घबराना नहीं है, वो कोई मतलब कैंसर है या कुछ मेरे को गलत चीज मेरा बॉडी का नहीं है, बराबर. फिर दूसरा है कि उसका जो मेजॉरिटी जो है, तो ये सब एवरी वुमन अंडरगोज दिस फेज, तो उसको उसके फैमिली वालों को भी समझना है, उसको खुद को भी समझना है कि दिस फेज इज गोइंग टू कम. नाउ आई हैव टू प्रिपेयर माई सेल्फ एंड माई फैमिली फॉर दिस. तो अगर फैमिली सपोर्ट सही रहेगा, आप अपना फ्रेंड सर्कल थोड़ा सही से, मतलब जो आपको अच्छा लगता है, इफ यू ट्राई टू डाइवर्ट योर माइंड, जैसे आपको कोई अच्छा म्यूजिक अच्छा लगता है, कुछ हॉबी अच्छा लगता है, तो आप जैसे अपना माइंड को डाइवर्ट करोगे तो क्या होगा कि उसका जो साइकोमोटर जो भी सारे सिम्टम्स है उसको डील करने का एक आपको अच्छे से एक तरीका मिल जाएगा. और अगर आपको फैमिली का भी सपोर्ट अगर अच्छा है, सही है, तो क्या होगा कि व्हेन यू आर इमोशनली ब्रोकन और समथिंग, योर फैमिली विल सपोर्ट कि चलो बाहर आउटिंग करके आते हैं, एंड यू विल फील फ्रेश and you are okay then. So it's just a momentary thing that you get hot flashes, you get emotional disturbance, you get breakthrough, you just cry out, but then you just need to understand this is normal. और आप सबके सपोर्ट के साथ खुद को, माइंड को प्रिपेयर करके, अपना माइंड डाइवर्ट करके, you can just deal with the situation.
Okay. So also there is a problem with body image that a menopausal women carries. They don't accept that there will be some changes, especially around their belly, right? So because it is estrogen dipping and that makes your
Definitely.
fat
It is
very
because of
stubborn.
dipping of estrogen, your belly fat
Becomes out, right?
yeah.
So that I've seen a female who goes for an hysterectomy as well, right? So post
Hysterectomy, it has no direct correlation.
okay, but then ovary removal है या ऐसा कुछ है
अगर
तो
आपका menopause आ रहा है उस मतलब अगर ovaries are removed, then you will get immediate menopause after the surgery, so that can lead to the same thing as natural menopause. Or only if you have undergone only the uterus removal, that is hysterectomy, then directly it's not going to affect your
because ovaries are still producing the yes, exactly. I mean yeah, so
or usme I would just like to add one thing to that, because our main field of work is laparoscopic surgeries. What we do is we remove uterus, we do cyst removal, fibroid removal, everything like laparoscopically. So when we do any surgery laparoscopically, the same day patient is started on oral like sips of water, liquids and soft diet. Next day only she is on normal diet. Like she can have sabji, roti, dal, chawal, everything.
Okay.
And next day only she is back to on her foot and she is mobile.
yeah, because it is very less invasive.
Yeah, it is less invasive. So we have very small cuts. So that's the reason कि पहले when we used to do a surgery by a very big incision, so patients had to rest for about 1 to 1.5 months. So when they used to rest and they were like कि आप आराम करो और खाते रहो, ये खाओ ये then फिर आपका वो after surgery belly fat आएगा. But when we do it laparoscopically, you are back to your routine of your physical activity, your exercise. It is, yes, immediately. Then it is very less due to surgery that your belly fat come. It's just your, it's just that your hormones or your menopause that can cause,
And how much it is going to impact the bone health? So
it does affect your bone health, because estrogen has a very important role to play in like calcium deposition in the bone. So when your estrogen levels go down, it does affect your bone health and your bones do get fragile. Sometimes you do get prone to fractures also. So for that we say कि अगर आपको ऐसा है बहुत अगर severe level पे अगर orthopedic doctor advice करते हैं तो we may sometimes suggest for hormone replacement therapy, but there are very less cases that we have seen like that. और दूसरा we always say कि calcium supplementation should be maintained when you are in a perimenopausal phase.
Correct. And does the palpitation around this phase could be related to heart health, or it is just the hormone playing the havoc inside?
Yeah, so of we can say just like not much of palpitation, routine types is okay. But yeah, if you have a severe type, you need to take up a
Okay, and I've also seen female with low vitamin D levels. They also undergo a lot of depression during this phase, right? So, I mean, you did rightly said that you should be well aware of what situation are you going through, and even your family should support. So, family word बहुत important है यहाँ पे, because
everyone you and around you should understand.
So what? But then there are very less family. I would like to highlight कि they don't understand this situation of a woman, and even the mothers in that family would say हमको तो कुछ नहीं हुआ, हमारा तो ऐसे ही निकल गया, हमारा तो कभी कुछ नहीं हुआ. So that is like, you know, that time awareness was not there. ना उनको भी होता होगा, but why was
इन्होंने सहन कर लिया, तो they are like you should also,
you should also do, and it is a part of your journey, life journey. तो हमको तो ऐसा, हमने तो इतना बड़ा नहीं बनाना. And nowadays, if that kind of a female takes care of herself, like self care के नाम पे जो आपने बोला कि music सुनो, I like doing mandala. I am in a perimenopausal phase, so I am in, I like doing mandala, and my family understands that, right? So, but then there are families जहाँ पे women has no time for herself, right? So वो ये चीज़ मुझे अपने एपिसोड के थ्रू ये बताना चाह रही हूँ कि please understand all the women in your family, especially if they are 40 plus, right? Because they are going through a lot of turmoil inside their body that it might come out in a way जहाँ पे उनको खुद को भी नहीं पता होता है कि what they are doing, and it comes out very, I mean, ऐसा लगता है कि वो ऐसे blast होता है कि छोटी सी चीज पे इतना गंदा blast होता है, and then they feel guilty about it, and that is where you female can undergo depression where you start blaming yourself कि ये मेरी वजह से है, मैं ही गलत हूँ and all that stuff.
वही टाइम आपको अच्छे से निकालना है. अगर वो टेकन केयर ऑफ हो गया ना वो मोमेंट, इज यू आर बैक ऑन.
And I've also seen that this dominates more near to your ovulation phase. कि जब आपका वो पीरियड्स आने वाला होता है या आपका जो 15 days
चेंजेस वाले में होता है.
तो I have seen females saying their husbands say no कि I'm near to my periods, don't try to irritate me. So this is something a very healthy balance I would say कि should be there in a couple. कि perimenopausal stage is something which you should not take lightly. There will be less sex drive too. Let's highlight on that part.
Yes.
Because
of vaginal dryness, because of estrogen deficiency, there is vaginal dryness, so there is less sexual drive. But that also couple need to understand. They need to sit together and discuss it out. And
so I believe
you can find solution for that.
Yeah, so I believe perimenopausal or a menopausal stage for a woman would get easy if they speak for themselves. I believe.
Yes.
Most of the time that is what is lacking.
Like any phase in life, you speak up for yourself,
you need to speak up for yourself. So I have come across many females who don't even know and suddenly जैसे normal scan के लिए जाते हैं और पता चलता है कि वो polyp है उनको. So can we just dig a little more about polyp, why it is, what are the causes and what is the treatment to it and everything.
Okay, so polyp, as I said earlier, कि it is like मस्सा, right? तो वो बच्चेदानी के अंदर के लेयर में जब वो मस्सा होता है या गर्भाशय के मुख पे जो सर्विक्स पे बोलते हैं वहां पे होता है. दिस आर द 2 मोस्ट कॉमन साइट्स. तो वो क्या है कि abnormal टिश्यू है. तो when even if your menses gets over, even after that additional tissue keeps on bleeding. So आपको 2 साइकिल के बीच में intermenstrual mid cycle spotting चलता रहता है.
Okay.
उसका टिपिकल सिम्टम रहता है. दूसरा, it can hamper with the implantation of the fertilized egg, right? So it can lead to infertility. So इसका basically 2 ही symptoms है. Yes, कि it can cause intermenstrual spotting bleeding or sometimes very less commonly heavy bleeding. If it's a bigger in size, it can cause heavy bleeding leading to anemia and infertility. So if it is causing this problem, or if on scan its vascularity or its characteristic are looks abnormal, then we need to remove it. To first thing, to biopsy it.
So can be cancerous.
Yes,
too.
can be pre-cancerous condition. Can be pre-cancerous condition. So to check for the biopsy, tissue biopsy. और दूसरा, अगर वो intermenstrual spotting कर रहा है, infertility कर रहा है, then you have to remove it कि वो अपना जो प्रॉब्लम है वो सॉल्व करने के लिए. एंड पहले ऐसे था कि अगर आपका मतलब 40 की एज पे पॉलिप आया तो पूरा बच्चेदानी निकाल देते, ठीक है. बट अभी इफ यू आर लाइक इनफर्टाइल कपल, इफ यू आर इनफर्टिलिटी पेशेंट, देन वी कैन नॉट रिमूव द यूट्रस फॉर दिस, राइट? सो फॉर दैट नाउ वी हैव हिस्ट्रोस्कोपी, दैट इज बच्चेदानी के अंदर दूरबीन डालते हैं तो उसमें वो अच्छे से दिखता है, फाइनल डायग्नोसिस भी हो जाता है, उसका कैरेक्टरिस्टिक भी पता चलता है. एंड देन वी डू हैव अ रिसेक्टोस्कोप कि उससे हम पूरा उसका बेस से शेव ऑफ करके पूरा निकाल सकते. उसमें पेट पे, एब्डोमेन पे कोई कट नहीं आता है. इट्स जस्ट प्रोसीजर डाइन फ्रॉम बिलो, यस, और उसका फाइनल रिमूवल हो जाता है और उसका बायोप्सी भी हो जाता है.
ओके, सो अभी जैसे कोई ऐसी फीमेल जैसे मेनोपॉजल स्टेज या पेरीमेनोपॉजल स्टेज पे सडन स्कैन पे पता चलता है कि पॉलिप है, वेयर द कंसर्न इज नेवर अ फर्टिलिटी देयर.
यस,
तो एज सच कोई मिड साइकिल ब्लीडिंग नहीं है, तो डू यू स्टिल रिकमेंड रिमूविंग द पॉलिप?
Okay, so for like perimenopausal woman, 2 things are important. If she doesn't have any complaints, then the scan is very important. Like
Whether the size is growing.
Whether the size is growing, if you sequentially do the scan, if its vascularity is showing more, because in perimenopausal or postmenopausal age, if there is a polyp with abnormal vascularity, there can be very high chance it can be a precancerous condition. So उसमें तो 100% biopsy is mandatory and you have to.
The size is growing, yes. But if the size is not growing, and
but if it is very small in size, you are following up with the scan and the vascularity is minimal, it's not growing, then let it be. Menopause के साथ uterus बच्चेदानी जैसे सिंक होगा, वो अपने वो it will not just go away, but it will stay there, but वो कोई harm भी नहीं करेगा. So let it be. As like fibroid, पॉलिप को भी रहने दो.
इट इज ऑलवेज सिम्टोमेटिक, मतलब और आपको परेशान कर रहा है,
सिम्टोमेटिक है तो उसको डील करना है, रिमूव करना है. और या तो उसका कैरेक्टरिस्टिक एबनॉर्मल लगता है तो बायोप्सी के लिए यू नीड टू.
एंड ये क्यों होता है, मतलब व्हाई इज दैट, आई मीन
डेवलप अगेन एज वी सेड फॉर द It's a genetic.
It's a genetic and your luck.
Yeah, luck. Yes.
Okay. So, so we've all over. I mean, we've dealt with almost all the sections. The one which we are left with is pregnancy and normal delivery versus the C-section delivery. So, I guess you do that as well. No, you are
Yes, yes. I do ops practice. Yes.
ops practice as well. So, these days I see, very commonly I see that people go for C-section and then post that because your hormones are not in sync. Body को पता ही नहीं है कि आपने deliver कर लिया है, because there is no labor pain. That most of them don't wait for the labor pain and thus induce the delivery. So, what are your take on these? Easy way for
So when sometimes patients they just ask just like that कि मुझे वो pain नहीं लेना है, that is why I want to opt for cesarean section. That I don't believe in. वो सही नहीं है कि हाँ आपको सीधा मतलब मुझे सफरिंग नहीं चाहिए इसलिए CS नो, तो देयर इज सफरिंग इन विद आफ्टर CS आल्सो.
yes
उसके बाद भी 2 दिन निकालना इज वेरी टफ. उसका भी पेन एक अलग ही लेवल का है, बराबर है. सो दैट इज नॉट द राइट थिंग टू मेक अ जजमेंट. बट हाँ वो है कि अभी देखो वो भी है कि जैसे हमने अभी डिस्कस किया कि इनफर्टिलिटी इतना सारा है, लेट एज प्रेगनेंसी मतलब एल्डरली प्राइमी भी अभी बहुत सारे हैं कि फर्स्ट प्रेगनेंसी उनका 33-35 पे हो रहा है. So that is also a medical reason for increasing the numbers of CS sections. Because सबका पहले precious नहीं था ऐसे नहीं बोल सकते, but every child is such a precious कि किसी को डॉक्टर को भी वो रिस्क नहीं लेना है कि अगर मैंने लेबर पेन का उसको हाँ अगर सही जा रहा है सही से प्रोग्रेस कर रहा है तो विल डिलीवर नॉर्मली, हमें कोई इश्यू नहीं है. बट अगर आपका मुख ही नहीं खुल रहा है, अगर आपका प्रोग्रेस नहीं हो रहा है, तो अभी लंबे लंबे ट्रायल करना उसमें भी डोंट बिलीव. बिकॉज वो करके अगर बच्चे ने अंदर स्टूल पास कर लिया, हम बोलते हैं मिकोनियम स्टेन लाइक है, अगर उसके वो सांस में चला गया तो फालतू फुल टर्म बेबी को हम क्यों ऐसे परेशान दें. सो दैट्स वन थिंग. और वही बोला कि अब सबका इतना हाइपर पेशेंट्स रिलेटिव्स इतने हाइपर आते, कुछ होना नहीं चाहिए, कुछ होना नहीं चाहिए. देन डॉक्टर्स आर ऑल्सो नॉट गॉड, राइट? कि अगर आपको पहले क्या था कि आप नॉर्मल कराए, आप 4-5 बच्चे करते थे तो ऐसा नहीं बोलते, बट अगर एक आध भी वो हो गया तो एक्सेप्टेंस थोड़ा इजी था. करेक्ट बिकॉज दे यूज्ड टू हैव एटलीस्ट 3-4 children, right? Now you want one child, you don't want to take any risk, and पूरा डॉक्टर के सर पे प्रेशर भी डालना है, तो then फिर डॉक्टर will also won't pull you for very long trial. बट हाँ अपफ्रंट कुछ इंडिकेशन होते हैं जिसमें हम सीधा CS बोलते हैं कि भाई हाँ ठीक है बहुत हाई BP है, इंटरनल एरिया हो गया है, हाँ कुछ भी है, देन वी हैव टू डिलीवर, सीधा उसको बोल दो. जैसे फर्स्ट प्रेगनेंसी में उल्टा बच्चा है, प्राइमरी ब्रीच इज नाउ इंडिकेशन फॉर C-section, हाँ वो सब छोड़ दो. बट हाँ वी ऑल्सो वेट टिल द मतलब आपका 38-39 वीक्स तक वी यूजुअली वेट कि भले नेचुरली अगर प्रोसेस चालू होता है देन विल सी कि भाई प्रोग्रेस हो रहा है, विल लेट द प्रोग्रेस, विल वॉच द प्रोग्रेस, अगर सही है उसको ऑगमेंट भी करेंगे एंड विल टेक अ डिसीजन.
Okay. So, during pregnancy, there are a lot many symptoms that few females experience and few doesn't.
Yeah,
right. जैसे most of my current clients, few of them have severe nausea that they can't eat anything.
Yes.
So, what could be the major reason why few females
have hormone of the body that gets secreted during pregnancy? HCG और वो जो सारे hormones होते हैं ना उसकी वजह से होता है, and इसलिए it is very common in every almost many.
So how do we pacify? Because when it is at that level where the female is not able to
most of the times it's like when you are fasting for a longer time you feel more nauseating. So have very small meals very frequently. That is what we say. Small meals more frequently. That's one thing. दूसरा जो सुबह का जो मूवी वाला होता है कि सुबह का एकदम उठ के आपको मॉर्निंग सिकनेस, बराबर, तो उसका जो सॉल्यूशन है सुबह आप पूरा नाइट का आपका फास्टिंग फेज होता है, 8-9 घंटे का फास्टिंग है, तो इमीडिएटली आफ्टर ब्रशिंग योर टीथ यू हैव समथिंग, एटलीस्ट आप ड्राई फ्रूट खा लो या सूखा कुछ खा लो, तो आपका वो जो सुबह मॉर्निंग सिकनेस है ना दैट विल बी डेल्ट नेचुरली. अदरवाइज यू डू हैव मेडिसिन, सेफर मेडिसिन ड्यूरिंग
safer medicine.
यस है, बिकॉज डॉक्सिनेट जैसा है, जैसे सालों से वो मॉलिक्यूल है, इट इज सेफ इन प्रेगनेंसी. If it is severe vomiting, you should take that medicine in a no round taking no zone,
Because then female
you should take the help of the medicine. If not dealt by this natural ways, 100% you have to take the help of the medicine so that आपका food intake should not have your weight gain should not have.
Correct.
That is the baseline.
Okay. And how do you feel that this C-section is also impacting lactation?
Yeah, it does impact, but it's like immediately after C-section, we put the baby on the breast. Though mother is not that capable of doing it herself, but like our staff, we teach the family members that you have to put the baby on the breast immediately after C-section. Also, we start putting the baby. So within 1 day or 1.5, they do start lactating. Yeah, okay. First day is difficult. That I do understand.
Because then I believe that even the milk production is not that fast post the C-section, right? Few female takes a week to start.
So it's like when you take longer, there it's difficult to establish.
Yeah, correct. So coming to our last segment, that is egg preservation. What are your take on that? We did discuss about egg preservation. Why these things are coming in?
देखो उसमें वही है कि when you are planning to get married late, then you should go for egg preservation in an earlier age if you really want to go for it. But as I said, I am not IVF specialist. I am not practicing IVF. So actually, what the process is, what are the psychological, what are the physical, like injections and all that, what is how actually the painful process is, that I'm not the right person to answer that. But like you should understand that thing. You should consult a doctor. You should consult a doctor and understand कि अगर आपको ये सारा प्रोसेस करके आपका नेचुरल मैरिज और ये सब डिले करना है, and you want to go for this process, okay, fine. It's a boon, like it's a science boon, that is no new thing that has come up. But what I believe in कि आप ये सारा अपने बॉडी को इतना गो थ्रू करा रहे हो, उससे अच्छा है कि you just start planning कि अपना यार स्टडी का है, वो सब है, करियर है, everything is there. But you can balance that out. If you want, try naturally, then there's a best option.
So जो back to science, if we go, yeah, कि our ancestors या हमारे marriage जल्दी kid early, so it makes sense now because it does make the life. I mean, जो इतनी fast lifestyle हो गई है and the priorities have changed a lot. But then somewhere we need to pause and think of all these things is what I feel that हमारे parents या हमारे grandparents ने जो किया था, that had some science and some science behind it, right? Thank you so much, Dr. Forum, for sharing a lot of insight around everything that women goes through. And I'm sure I have many more questions, and we might do a 2.0 for this, because covering everything in one episode is very difficult, because I am also into the same field. I'm not as technical as you, but then I treat them with the diet and all. And I face the similar kind of questions that you face. I don't have, like you said, that few questions can be answered by other specialist. I need to take your help for my patients to listen to you. And yes, so I really welcome you for a longer relationship now. And we'll surely try to do some 2.0 with you here.
And thank you so much, dietitian Shweta. It was really great talking to you.
Likewise. Yeah. If there's anything that we can take away from today's episode is, your hormones are not your villain. They are your messenger. They are trying to tell you to balance. Every mood swing, every hot flush, and every irregular period is your hormone's way of asking for balance. And that balance isn't found in pill or a panic. It's built through awareness, nourishment, and self-respect. Thank you for tuning into Beyond the Noise. And if you found this episode is helpful for you and any female in your family, do share this episode, like, subscribe, and share.